Okay, here we go. This is a public meeting of the Berlin Conservation Commission occurring via Zoom webinar on October 21st, 2020, starting at roughly 7 p.m. As a preliminary matter, please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other participants may be able to see you. Take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. So now to confirming member access, this is John Aney, Chair of the Berlin Conservation Commission. Permit me to confirm that all members are and persons anticipated in the agenda are present and can hear me prior to me calling the meeting to order. I'll state your name, please respond. Louis Janda.
Here.
Liz Dichiara.
Here.
Steve Beard.
No.
Robin Berry.
Here.
Holly Kennedy DeGrudela.
Here.
And then Leanne Leahy is assisting with production. Carolyn McDonald is expected to join us in about 5 to 10 minutes. And then Walter may join us if he returns home safely. Anticipated speakers on the agenda. From the solar array project, I have invited Pete Forty, Guy Winters, Ken LaCourse, and Chris Anderson. I'm not sure if any of them have signed in yet. Robin?
No, I just see Krista Collins here.
Excellent. Okay. And then, hi, Krista. And then Boundless Adventures, Shannon Clancy will be joining us.
Yeah, and Chris Anderson just showed up.
Okay. With a quorum of this commission present, I call this meeting to order at 7:06 p.m. on Wednesday, October 21st, 2020. So this is an open meeting of the Conservation Commission. This being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and or parties with a right and or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the Town of Berlin website at www.townofberlin.com. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we've been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely, provided reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with deliberations of the meeting. While no in-person attendance of members of the public is permitted, every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the town's website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. The standard public comment portion of this meeting will accommodate limited public comment. For this meeting, the Conservation Commission is convening using the Zoom platform as posted on the agenda, identifying how the public may join. Okay. The public is encouraged to follow along during this meeting using the posted agenda, unless I note otherwise. I may post some materials during the course of the meeting. Ground rules, commission members and speakers on the agenda, please remember to request recognition before speaking so we don't speak over each other, and please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. Public comment portion of the agenda, to the extent that our technical capability allows, public comment will be permitted during the public comment portion of this meeting as follows. Attendees' phones and other devices will be muted unless and until they raise their hand and are recognized by me to speak. I ask each member of the public who wishes to speak to identify their name, and I will afford each speaker time to ask a question or make a brief comment. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. And that's that. Krista, we probably won't be getting to anything fun until at least 8:30. So you're welcome to watch the whole thing, but if you have children to herd, I just wanted to give you a heads up about when we'll be getting some of that stuff.
Great. Hi, John. It's Krista.
Hi, Krista.
Hi. Thank you. I will probably just keep you guys on in the background. I wasn't sure if there was anything in the Treasurer's report I should try to listen to.
Oh, okay. Well, we can do that next then. Well, actually, Well, let's do the Treasury Report first, and we'll go back up to the minutes, and then we'll go on with the other fun stuff. Okay. So, do you have a Treasury Report, Robin? You're muted, Robin.
Yeah, so I was kind of only doing them end of the month, but I do have it. It is updated if you guys want. I think it's only changed by like $300 or so. Let me just.
Sure, go ahead. Keep you on your toes.
Yeah, hold on a second. It looks like I closed it out. So let's see, the Wetlands Fund is $10,912.83. The Open Space Fund is $187,051.77. And the budget is $1,188.25.
Could you say those again?
Sure. Wetlands Fund is $10,912.83.
Yep.
Open Space is $187,051.77. And the budget is $1,188.85.
Is that as of today?
That was as of the last meeting.
Okay.
So what was that, 10/7?
Didn't you say that there was an update of like $300 or something?
That was as of the last meeting.
All right, okay. Cool beans. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So we will proceed to the minutes. Everything is so much fun on Zoom. You all can see that?
Yes.
All right. October 7th, 2020. Meeting opened at 7:07 p.m. John opened the meeting by stating that it was being recorded and explained the reasons for the meeting being held remotely on Zoom. By executive order of Governor Baker, due to COVID-19, the town offices are closed to the public. John reviewed the rules for holding the remote meeting. A roll call attendance was taken with the following results. John here, Steve here, Walter here, Liz here, Carolyn here, Robin here, Leanne Leahy opened the meeting and then turned it over to Robin to host. Other attendees, Chris Anderson, Hannigan Engineering, Matt Sengi, Riverbridge, Shannon Clancy, General Manager, Balanced Ventures, and Peter Hoffman. Number one, review and approval of minutes of previous meeting. Minutes for September 16, 2020 were reviewed and edited. Carolyn moved to approve the minutes with edits. Liz seconded the motion, which passed by roll call vote. With the following results: John, I, Robin, I, Steve, I, Liz, I, Walter, I, Carolyn, I. Treasurer's report. Wetlands, 10,912.83. Open space, 187,051.77. And then budget, that was the change from this time to last time, 1473.50. Bills and forms, postage for certified mails, Liz DiChiara, 1525. Then River Road West Enforcement Order, KP Law, $270. Liz moved to pay out of the budget. Carolyn seconded, which passed by roll call vote with the following results: John, I, Robin, I, Steve, I, Liz, I, Walter, I, Carolyn, I. Mail notices and forms. Mark 9 training, dates of training were shared. SVT email indicating trash at parking lot for Mount Pisgah. Walter would check out the parking lot. Wetlands, Solar Farm DEP 1070239. Vote to lift the EO. Steve motion, Liz seconded, passed by unanimous vote. B, Highland Ridge DEP 1070247. Pat Garner reported that things are good. His response about the trees was unclear, but they're 40 to 80 feet from the BVW, so within the 100-foot buffer. No violation. No update on conservation restriction. The CR needs to be tied to the building permit and our approval of the project. C, 100 River Road West, force motor. Walter will follow up with Dave regarding the EO. If we don't get cooperation, we will pass along to DEP, which we already actually, again, whatever. D, Gates Pond culvert repair. Dave from Highway Department emailed commission about the need to repair a collapsed culvert. Carolyn had inspected the site. John issued an emergency certification regarding the repair and issued it to the Highway Department. E, letter to 355 West Street. John sent a letter to the owner in Rhode Island as well as the resident and checked with the assessor's office. No response yet. Appointments, 330 Randall Road, DP 107239. COC application, site visit, September 30th. John, Steve, and Liz represented Concom. Pat Garner, I don't know how that got there. Concom consultant was present. Representing the array were Pete Forty, Ken LaCourse, and Chris Anderson. Number 2, most of the site looks good. There is erosion and rilling along a dozen rows between the panels and the western edge of the array. A section of the service road showed signs of erosion and rilling. Exposed soil where silt fence had been pulled up needed seeding. It was agreed the identified areas would be hydro-seeded or hand-seeded and that the road would be regraded. 3, public meeting continued until October 21st at 7:30 p.m. River Bridge update, Matt Senni. Senni family is phasing out, still owns buildings, but won't be in control of it. Town residents are allowed to access the canoe launch, and Matt wants to propose an easement at one of the next town meetings if the town wants to build a separate path from River Road. Commission remembers that there should be an access parking lots from the apartment complex parking area. Matt will get back to us. River Bridge wants to put 28 townhomes where the package store is. They have tried to get restaurants, etc., without success. Plans to put in on the warrant has a P&S contingent on town vote. Boundless Adventures, Shannon Clancy, currently running off of generators, so trying to bring in power to office. BA wants to run underground conduit with a transformer outside of the wetland area. Entire project is within BVW. Area is graded and disturbed. Huh? I don't know what that was supposed to mean. I don't remember. Number 2, per Carolyn, our day should be fine. 3, site visit scheduled for Wednesday, October 14th, 9:30 a.m. 4, need to ensure contractor digs in correct spot. Rob Horn, excavator, drip the plans. Rick Marshall's electrician. New business, cistern repair near Sawyer Hill CR. Liz will be some temporary hoses crossing access to trail. Liz will put cones up. 7, old business, ATV traffic on 40K's area. Walter reported the signs are still in place and he saw no evidence of recent ATVs. He hasn't heard from Officer Gromley. Wetlands bylaw discussion. John received a letter from Margaret asking that we move the bylaw to the warrant for the spring 2021 annual town meeting. Commission agreed to wait. John to respond to Margaret. Final draft has been circulated to other boards. Need to ask to get on the agenda, and 2+ commission members will attend. Planning Board, Carolyn and John. ZBA, Board of Health, Select Board, Agricultural Commission, Economic Development Committee. Peter Hoffman to email confirmation of date and time of next month meeting, and John will reply with a draft of proposed bylaw. Number 8, land acquisition, no action taken in the regular meeting. 9, land management, trespass at Tharian's. Cars had gone into the parking lot and drove down to the field. John reached out to Dan Stimson from SVT to get some history. The parking lot is owned by town. Field is access for haying through the parking lot. Steve to call Sue to discuss a possible solution to prevent this from happening. 10, community outreach. Fall Earth Day cleanup, October 17th. Liz and Louise have been working on outreach, table set up in front of town offices with volunteers from 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Need 7 volunteers for truck. We'll have coupons for kids to get ice cream or cider donuts. Liz moved to adjourn the meeting. Steve seconded the motion, which passed unanimously by roll call vote. Meeting ended at 9:22 minutes, recorded by Robin Berry. Thoughts? Comments?
I think Robin did a good job. She can do this.
Very good.
I think I did a terrible job. So
No, great job. You can
Great job. I think, yeah.
no, thank you, Louise. You do such an awesome job.
I have a comment about the cider and donuts. There will be donuts from Berlin Orchards. No cider though. The general store is providing coffee, tea, and coffee, tea, hot chocolate, and cold drinks.
Oh, I wanted cider.
Okay.
That's all right. Well, we don't have to amend the minutes for that though, because
No.
I don't like to type. But this part here, I don't understand this half sentence, Robin. It just
I
doesn't.
think that referred to the fact that the area had already been graded and disturbed for the parking lot, and that's where they were going to be cutting through. Is that what, I think that's what it was.
That's what it sounds like based on other meetings that we've had.
I like my modifiers before.
Mm.
I'm not French, so you know.
So
Okay.
I like quick notes.
Any other thoughts?
Just the entire project. I thought the entire project meant all of Boundless Adventures, but we're meaning the entire new wiring project, or what are we calling it? Proposed power project.
Electrification. Just project.
Okay.
Talking about that more, I'm sure, in this meeting.
Yep. Okay. But thank you. Any other thoughts?
Great job.
About the minutes, but I'd like to comment later on in the meeting about the Therian parking problem.
Well, that's on the agenda.
It's on the agenda.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So with no further ado, I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes as with those minor edits.
So
I
move.
move.
Seconded,
Sec-
third, and fourth.
Wow. Any further discussion? All those in favor, roll call vote. Well, first of all, I have to, let me see. So we have, our other members have arrived. Carolyn, could you just say aye, you're here?
I am here.
And then Walter, you here?
Yep, I'm here.
So
I'm
what's the penalty for being late today? We said
Push-ups. It's always
Oh.
push-ups. So, all right, to do a roll call vote. John, aye. Louise,
Aye.
Liz,
Aye.
Robin,
I
Carolyn,
Aye.
Steve,
Yahoo.
and Walter.
I
Oh, great. Okay. That's that. Let me see. Time is 7:22. Okay.
How long
Bill-
did the minutes take you, Robin?
I tried to do
3
a lot
days,
of
I
it.
think, right? It was like 3 days.
Don't
No,
scare
it was
her.
like 2 weeks. What I think I got him to John on Sunday, finally. Although I had done a lot of it during the meeting. So that's why I missed kind of the first couple of notes, was that I was trying to get things set up to take notes last time.
Good
But
job.
and then it was just a matter of editing them.
Liz just gave you a thumbs up. I'll give you 2 thumbs up.
Yes, good job.
I appreciate that, but I'm not looking to take over the role.
No. You got Louise.
I do enough meeting minutes for work.
And I got something else for you to do anyway. So
Oh boy.
Yeah.
under bills and forms, bill from KP Law. So KP, probably as a result of the pandemic, KP Law has been a little erratic in their bill submission, and it's been confusing. And let me see if I can screen share this most recent one.
Somehow I'm a co-host, which I don't mind, but
Yeah, I made you a co-host just so we had somebody else.
In
okay.
case,
In
In case Robin drops. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the latest one. So this came, this was some email discussion about the conservation restriction on Highland Ridge for $36. And then there's this other thing, and I don't, about just this, that, and the other, totaling $515. It's not detailed out at all. And to make matters more complicated, because this occurred last fiscal year, apparently for this $36, we cannot use the general fund. We would have to use the open space fund. That has to do, according to June, that has to do with the rules and regulations about these funds. And she's quite adamant about that, and I believe her. But the trouble is, I don't even know if this money is we've already paid, because I was you know, I just got this like maybe an hour and a half ago, and I was scanning through some of the other KP Law bills, and I don't know, I think a lot of this stuff's already been paid. You know, there was a lot of KP Law bills that went out last fiscal year. So I'm going to recommend we don't act on this at all right now, and I'm going to ask Robin to work with June to figure out, like, you know, and KP Law to sort of do a better job on itemizing their bills to the Conservation Commission. You know, they have a habit of sending bills to the town of Berlin without like separating out the data. And, you know, then.
Yeah, it was about 3 years ago that we asked them to break out conservation from that general bill.
And it's been very confusing this year. So Robin, if you wouldn't mind working with June on, I don't know if we owe them any money, frankly, or only just $36. I don't, because I was scanning through some of the bills we approved, and we paid them quite a bit of stuff, and a lot of it had to do with, so you know, and some of this may not even be our responsibility. So I just don't, it's just, I don't like the way they're doing business.
It's a generic, it's a lump, like toll calls and online research concerning which project.
Yeah, do what exactly?
Like, right, title search for what property?
Right.
Did they give you, so this was the only page? I mean, I've seen stuff from KP Law before through work, and usually there's like a backup page that has.
Nope, this is all I got.
That's it? Okay.
Well, how about if you send them a letter and just say that we're not acting on it until we get the background information on it, and we're a little disappointed that it's so vague or more detailed or something, and ask to provide that, and also a list of what we've paid them so far last year, so we know where we are with paying for.
Right, but I'd like to do our homework first, and so that's why I'm assigning that to Robin, because she doesn't.
All right,
know.
so have you already talked to June already about this?
I had an email exchange, and that's, you know, surprisingly, she checked her email about 6 p.m. and she was very clear that even that $36 cannot come out of our general fund.
Okay. Can you maybe forward me that exchange and this?
I will do that immediately.
Follow up with her. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll do that immediately.
John, you're sharing that with everyone. Just
Oh,
so
it's
you
okay.
know.
All right. I did.
Yeah, you can see
Neener,
all the
there
other
you go.
sites you go into too.
It's all, this is the conservation thing.
Well,
I
I don't know.
That whole warning at the beginning, screen sharing, and everyone in the world's gonna see your stuff.
Yeah, I don't really care. It's just my life is just not that interesting. All right, so 7:28.
Robin got her in a cup tonight.
Say again, please.
What's
Don't
Robin
ask
got in her
questions,
cup
Steve.
tonight?
Don't ask questions.
Okay.
Never you mind.
Mind your business. What do you have?
I know what I got in my cup.
All right, just a couple of things before 7:30. I'm going to hold off on the Gates Road thing. The special town meeting there's now is a date. It's Saturday, December 5th, 2020.
Wow, December 5th.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's going to be indoors.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 4:30 p.m. No, I'm sorry. 12 p.m.
Right, and that's a Saturday.
12 p.m. Yeah, it's a Saturday, 12 p.m. Okay. There, as I sent around an email, there's a superseding OOC request site visit October 29th at 10 a.m. with Judy Schmitz. This is the Marlboro Road one, okay? And I think that Liz and Louise and maybe Walter said they can be there.
I'll try.
Okay. Now, Judy, you may have noticed in the forwarded email, she has some very specific requests concerning COVID-19 for the people that will be attending that you should answer before you go by email to her. If you look at the, at the email, it's in there. She just wants, she wants you to verify that you're not sick.
The Marlboro Road walk?
Yeah, the site visit.
John, can you give me that date and time again for the Marlboro Road review?
Yes, October 29th.
Okay, 10 o'clock.
2020 at 10 a.m.
Got it. I had it, yeah.
Okay. All right, it's 7:30, so we will now go on to the continuation of the public meeting for the COC request for DEP 1070239.
Which is
Robin,
the solar farm?
The solar farm, yeah.
So is this Chris Anderson?
Yes.
Okay, and there's also a 603 number. Are we expecting anybody else? I'll allow them to talk and then they can if they want.
Could 603 identify 801-6616 identify themselves?
Hello? Yep, that's Chris Anderson.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's you again doing the double duty thing. Okay. You did this last time. You're messing with
I'm sorry, I apologize. Working from home kind of enjoys.
All right. So let me just first, if you allow me to bring up Pat's last report. There we go. So we had some rain, and there, as a result, was some erosion again. So Pat's salient issues was there was the storm ground where the silt fence was removed was not seeded. The hydro seeding has begun to germinate. It was about 50% evident when he did his inspection on October 17th. There are numerous rills and shallow channels that convey overland flow beside the western access road. They become larger and more severe. Silty turbid runoff flows into the Southwest Basin. The freshly gated stone dust and gravel that was installed on the road at the end of September appears to have entirely washed out in the last two storms. Channelization is now deeper and far more distinct than previously, and as the arborvitae has shown some browning. So this is the area between rows. You can see there's like little rivulets there. And this unfortunately is the access road, which got washed out all over again and pounded down into the, under the fence, past the arborvitaes and towards that, safety culvert, which is a concern. So you can see the big washout there. And there was a little bit of water in the retention basin, but it's otherwise it looks fine. So that's Pat's update. Okay, what are your thoughts, Chris? What are your observations?
If you can add Ken McCourse, should have signed in. He's probably under the attendees list. You can just bring him in. He can probably review a little bit further in depth of what was done since this inspection. Relative to the erosion on the road, that probably wasn't the best idea to do, only because that road that was originally there back when we did our site walk a few weeks ago was pretty much compact because of the nature of it being utilized during the course of construction. And just by putting the gravel down, it just flowed, unfortunately, and caused the erosion roll that you see there. The hydro seed we completed, and as Patrick noted, that it is starting to germinate to some extent. because of the, the lack of rain that we've had prior to these two events. It just took a little while to get going. So, but it is going. And as we discussed out on the site, those rills that are forming between the panels and throughout the field over time are going to diminish themselves because of the nature of the fact that the grass is going to start growing. They're patchy and interspersed in areas, and it's not a consistent, continuous rill of barren earth that we were seeing during the course of construction. So, like I stated during our previous meeting, over time, those rills and little tiny rivulets that form within the actual array itself will eventually just grow themselves in. But over the course of time, at this point in time, the site's pretty much stabilized. So it's just growing grass and letting it go, which has been achieved.
Have the areas of disturbed silt fence been seeded yet?
Yeah, we did. We actually did broadcast seed those areas. Anything that has washed out, we'll go back and reseed it.
Okay. And what's to be done about this road?
So that was one of the things that I had kind of brought up when we first started, when we did our walk. I really didn't want to put another layer on top of this road until we had full growth, just so that way the grass could have slowed the flow of water through the field. What I plan on doing is I'm going to bring another machine out there, and we're going to put the field back up, the road back in place, and then just compact it and put up some erosion control on each side of the road, so that way there it has a chance to set up through the winter, and hopefully it'll compact itself through the course of through the winter and next year. Once it's all compacted, everything's stable, I won't have any washouts.
What type of erosion control?
I'm probably going to do some mulch stock, maybe some 12-inch mulch stock on each side.
So wattles, essentially, staked wattles?
Yeah. I'm sorry, wattles. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But the wattles are hay wattles. Mulch stock's a little heavier, so it'll stop the water flow a lot better than the mulch stock, the wattles.
Yeah, that would do the trick. We really, I wish I had thought about that before.
Yeah, and I apologize. I should have brought that up on our sidewalk. I didn't even really think about if we had I lived the next road over, so we had 1.7 on my rain meter of water that night.
Yeah, it was a lot of rain in those short period of time. Other people's thoughts or observations?
Is that washing into the brook at all, or is it being caught in a catch basin, in a sediment basin?
Yeah, so Walter, the everything's actually being caught right there. I have to clean out that swale going down. Most of the stuff got caught in the swale. We do have a little bit of silt in the catch basin, so it did its job, but nothing got washed into the wetlands or into the field for that matter.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Yeah, Walter, during our site visit, there was, everyone was pretty satisfied that the way that things are now, the water, no silt is washing into the North Brook.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
The way they are now. I mean, the concern is that, what would happen in the spring, but, that's why we were wanted to see some more hydroseeding. Other thoughts?
No, the water was flowing when we did the site visit, but it was clean.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Out of the water coming out of the retention basin, the lower retention basin.
I guess my biggest concern is just ensuring some sort of I don't know what word I'm looking for. It's great now. What happens in the spring?
Yeah, if we get a heavy snowfall and it melts fast, what happens?
Or if we get a hard freeze and then a warm up and rain. And I understand the desire for the COC, but I want to know what mechanism there is in place for us should we have more issues.
Can you so yeah, I mean, actually on that, on your concern, I mean, we own the project for a year, regardless how we look at it. We own the project for a year, so we own this even past the spring and into the summertime areas. This with the grass growth that's coming in there, and the high vegetation. I'm probably not going to cut the grass this year. I'm going to let it grow in and flop over on itself. That's going to allow a little bit more impact to stop the water from flowing across the field for sheet flow. So next year, I mean, this test of 1.7 inches of rain in the course of one night was a great test to the site to show what it could hold up. But any type of impact to the site come spring, obviously we own it. We still have to take care of it and maintain it. So we'll be vigilant on make sure that all that stuff is addressed come spring.
So Ken, why isn't there like little speed bumps in that road to keep the water from flowing?
Well, we could, but we want to, I could absolutely do it now because there's no more traffic on it. So I could definitely do a lot of, I could do some berms across the road just to, flow the water across it. But you got to keep in mind with the volume of water that came down that road, it washed that road out. So, I mean, those speed bumps would have just washed right into the swale. That's why I really didn't want to put any type of process gravel into it. But I just, I wanted to make sure that the commission was satisfied with what we did. And unfortunately, it did wash into the swale. But I can probably do some type of wattles across the road, just so that way there, we can kind of divert the water from coming down that road if that's what you guys need. It'll divert the water, but
I mean, I think the wattles along each side are probably better.
Yeah, absolutely, it is. Absolutely, I agree.
Okay. Other thoughts?
No. As long as they're in charge of it, they got to keep it up to date till it vegetates.
Well, yeah. All right.
Yeah, what happens next?
We will have less leverage though. So.
Right. That's my concern.
Yeah.
Well, what we're looking for on this end of it is to close out the building permit. I mean, the order of conditions can still remain open on that permit end of it. We're just looking to close out the building permit. So, I mean, if we have to keep the conservation permit open until you guys are satisfied with it, I don't have a problem with that. It's just closing out the building permit.
Yeah, I don't think it works that way.
Some towns allow us to do, some towns don't. That's why it's up to you guys.
It doesn't work that way with us. We're really just about, yeah.
Are you saying that if we just wrote a letter to the building inspector saying that, how would you be allowed to close out the building permit without a certificate of compliance?
So you have the order of conditions, which is its own, in its sense, its own permit. And then the building department has its own permit. So in order for me to close out the building department, some towns allow us, we can close out completely on the building end of it, but the order condition remains open until all orders have met. And then they can close out then they can give me a COC on the order conditions. Some towns allow us to do that. Some towns don't. We've done that with the town of Southbridge, for example. We were allowed to close out the building permit, but we left the COC for the order conditions open until the Conservation Commission decided that it was fit to be closed.
Sure. But so did the Conservation Commission in Southbridge just write a letter to the building inspector?
Yes.
How did that? Okay.
Yeah. And then they just requested a bond is what it was, just to make sure we come back and do our job.
Ken, this is Chris. Would a partial certificate of compliance accomplish that? Something to the effect of that the construction's been complete,
yes.
The stormwater system's been replaced, and then final closeout is pending vegetation growth. Would that accomplish the same effect?
That absolutely it would. Yep, same mechanism.
Yeah, same mechanism. That way it gives the commission still has the power to control any kind of, if down the line any erosion does occur during the winter months or during the spring, the commission still has a hand in the in the game to make sure that there's some way to remedy it if it does occur.
Absolutely.
But at least it gets the building permit out of the way.
I would be more in favor of something like that, or us just writing a letter than closing out the whole thing and giving up any leverage that we might have.
I want to make sure we're actually accurate along these statements. Because these parallel processes may function differently from town to town. Our jurisdiction, our responsibility is on the wetlands aspect of it. I think we mostly need to focus on the COC. I would ask Chris and Ken to double check, but perhaps also with Pete Forty, just to make sure that you're requesting the correct thing. I just want to make sure that we're not doing something that's legally incorrect. So why don't you guys, check with all the interested parties from your end about the building permit issue versus the COC issue, because they normally wouldn't be that strongly connected, at least from our point of view.
Right.
So in the meantime, I thank you for the progress, and I think we'll continue this meeting then until the next Conservation Commission meeting, which is November 4th. And then we'll see how things look. Okay. 7:30 a.m. p.m.
AM.
Sorry about that.
I'll be on if you need me to be.
Yeah, no, I saw that, but okay. All right, everybody sound good with that?
Yep. I'm good with that.
Yep.
Okay. All right, Chris and Ken, thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Good night.
Thanks.
All right. Now our next appointment is with Shannon, and if she's on, we can move it up because this is neither a hearing nor a meeting. So
Okay.
we can save her the 15 minutes of waiting.
Yep, I'm promoting her right now.
Okay.
I want to be promoted.
Oh, you're going to be demoted. Right now, you're peeling potatoes. You know what's below peeling potatoes, don't you?
Oh, gee. Oh.
We're talking latrine duty here, pal.
Oh, wait a minute.
I got the underside of some outhouses that need painting.
Oh.
All right, Shannon, you're muted.
Hello.
Hi, Shannon.
Hi.
Okay.
So, yeah, we had our site visit last Wednesday, and unfortunately, Shannon had an emergency. Yeah, can you remind us what the emergency was again, Shannon? It was
so there was a tree down at the New York Park, but that's not here. It's in Purchase, New York. It's about 3.5 hours away. So lots of fun.
Yes. Well, thank you for joining us now. We took the liberty of just stepping over the chain and looking up there.
Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome to do that anytime, of course.
Okay.
Don't climb.
I didn't think you'd mind, so we.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Tell her we tried out the course too, but we'll go.
No, we did not do that. We did not break any laws. We found the transformer platform. We used the map to follow the line of the proposed conduit site. And as I emailed you, our concern was it seemed to cut right through that berm that separates the driveway from the wetlands, and that berm functions as a barrier. So I suggested, moving the conduit to it was actually Steve's idea, but moving it to the middle of the road. And you have an updated drawing for us?
Yes, I emailed it to you, but I can bring it up.
I can try to.
I thought since it's not pavement, it shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, here we go. Let me just download it. Yeah. There we go. Everybody can see that, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's way better.
So you want to walk us through this, Shannon?
I mean, so just changing that one little line instead of pretty much making everything a straight line so that we don't go through that buffer you were talking about.
Yeah, well, it's essentially a berm right here.
Mhm.
That on the edge of the road that functions well as a way of keeping the water from running into the wetlands.
Okay.
Yeah, and so pulling it away from there through the center, because this isn't paved, it's just hard packed.
Yeah, it's like gravel.
Yeah, makes it much easier. Now, you do not have a line running to the pull box. Remember, there's a pull box here.
Uh-huh.
Did you want a line running to the pull box?
Not that I know of. If anything, we might run a line there and then to get power through to the park, but that's like a whole other project that I'm not even worried about yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
John, can you zoom in where the red lines are near the kind of the turnaround, the circle? Right. Okay, no, there you go. Thank you.
Yep.
Right.
More?
No, that's good. So that transformer pad. So what are you talking about, the pull box? Isn't that the same?
Nope. The pull box is right here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Remember, originally it came right down here, and it was
over to there. Yeah.
And then it went over here. So, and they're just cutting that out of the project right now.
Got it.
Yeah, we don't necessarily need it. We just need the one transformer pad there and the pull box up there. I'm pointing to it on my screen, acting like
yeah. I've done that before, Shannon. Okay, so this could probably be done with an RDA. Given that, I mean, the only other concern was just making sure that there's some erosion controls right along here. Just as they dig, there would be some erosion control in an arc right there. And then I think that can, Carolyn or Steve or somebody, that can still be part of an RDA as opposed to an NOI.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can put that as a requirement for the RDA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about, Shannon?
No.
So you have an engineer that works with this kind of?
Yes, I do.
They'll know.
Okay.
Let me see if I can. Why is this?
Are these plans stamped, John?
No, I don't see a stamp.
So we're going to need, with the filing, we're going to need a set of plans that are stamped by somebody.
Oh, it's stamped. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but it's stamped a long time ago. So you're gonna need an updated stamp with this stuff.
Right.
So yeah. Anyway,
basically certifying that this is what is going to be done. The thing that we approve is what will happen.
And who do I need to get a stamp by?
Ask your engineer.
Okay.
Yeah, at this point, I would just say that we're happy with this line, and then tell the engineers to do their job.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than like, because you don't really need to worry about that stuff. You just have them do their job, and then you know.
They'll know.
So we will be satisfied with this line.
Okay, all right, and then from there, then what do I do? Bring it to you guys?
Yeah, they'll tell you what to do. If they haven't done it before, you need new engineers.
Yeah.
Right. But
Sounds good.
It's very simple. It is very simple.
But well, if you've done it before, it's very simple. If you've never done it before, it's confusing as hell. So just get them to do it.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah.
I can do that.
All right, I'm gonna stop sharing. There we go. All right, thank you very much, Shannon.
All right, thank you guys.
Yep.
Thanks.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right, we are chugging along better than expected. Okay, I'm gonna go back up under mails and notices. I'm gonna go to number 4. The annual monitoring visit of the Divine CR is gonna occur on October 30th at 10 a.m. If anybody wants to tag along. You know, I mean,
Wait a minute. Therians?
yeah, the Therians.
Okay.
So SVT is the monitors the site annually.
Mhm.
You know, they monitor all sites annually. They still call it Divine, the Divine CR.
Okay.
And they're, you know, they had given me a heads up about this. She was going to coordinate with Sue about the best time for the both of them, which is understandable. And they arrived at the October 30th at 10 a.m.
October 30th. Let me write that down.
So if anybody wants to be there, that would be fun. It'd be nice. Also, I have to correct an error I stated earlier. It's correct in the minutes, but I misspoke verbally. The DET number for the solar farm is 1070239. There, now it's on the record.
I feel better now.
I hope so.
Steve was gonna not sleep tonight.
Well, I'm not gonna go that far.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the
All right.
Therian, do you want to discuss Therians?
Yes, but not yet.
Okay.
All right. So next, Carolyn and Walter, I'm putting this under mail and notices because it originated by an email. This is the Gate Roads concern. You guys want to talk about your little visit?
Gates Pond Road.
Whatever, like that part of town.
Well,
I was just swimming in Gates Pond yesterday morning. I went for a little run, got hot, went for a swim. It's Hudson. I don't care.
well, it's not. It's actually Berlin. It's
No,
Hudson's
but-
water supply.
That's my
drink that
point.
water, though.
Yeah, that's my point. I know it's in Berlin. It's Hudson water. I'm gonna swim in it. Anyway, no, I'm just teasing. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So please.
Walter, you want to go or you want me to?
Go for it.
Okay, so there was an email that came to conservation from somebody on Gates Pond Road saying that a neighbor was encroaching, well, really said that they were running a skidder in the wetlands. So Walter and I went down there Sunday morning. Last week, the week before?
Last week.
Last week, yeah. And knocked on the door, no one answered, went next door to the neighbors, and were able to view the property from behind. And while there's definitely some activity, really by both people, the person who was reported as well as the reportee. We didn't see any evidence of anything being filled in or anything. So I actually have tried to get in touch with Jed Hayes of Sullivan Hayes, who manages Highland Commons, to see if they wanted to just let these people know that they're encroaching on their land. 'Cause it's Highland Commons property. I have not successfully gotten in touch with Jed yet. We often play phone tag, so I will keep up with that and let you know what he says.
Thank
Well,
you.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I would just add that it really, Carolyn did say this, but it's strictly a private matter. There's no wetlands there, really. And Highland Commons got to make up their mind whether they want that trash. They didn't just bring over, you can take grass clippings and some leaves and spread them around and who knows the difference, but they just dumped it there. It's rubbish. It's just a mess. I wouldn't want them next door to me. So I don't know what they're up to, but they were running a Bobcat, one of them. The first one was running a Bobcat, but the fellow who made the complaint, he's made just as much of a mess out there as the person he was complaining about. I can't believe it. It's so obvious. But anyway, Carolyn is doing the right thing to get the owner of Highland Commons to see what they can do about that.
All right, but if it's not in the wetlands, why are we involved?
Well, it does get wet there. So I looked on the Mass Oliver, and the two houses in question and the next one, Mass Oliver doesn't have any wetlands behind. I looked on, I actually have it right here. So I pulled this map out from back in the day when Highland Commons was being developed. And you can see here's one of the original iterations of what was going to happen up there, and it's right here. So it's these house lots in here that are in question. So it does show wetlands. And again, this isn't a stamped drawing, so I'm not entirely sure how accurate this is either.
Well, I didn't see any, I don't think there was any wetland vegetation there, but if we're concerned about it, we could either get Pat or Dave to go take a look at it.
Right, I agree with you. There didn't really, it was, white pines and
Right.
There really wasn't even much underbrush. We were able to walk in there pretty easily, and so I don't know that it's wetlands.
Yeah.
So if you, thank you, Carolyn and Walter. Carolyn, so you'll try to get a hold of the Highlands.
Yeah, I'll keep up with Colin Jed.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And thank you both for going out and.
Well, do we want to ask somebody to go look at the wetlands?
Not yet. Let's see what the Highland people have to say.
All right.
Okay. Next up, wetlands monitoring, Highland Ridge, DEP 1070247. So they were affected by the rain as well. Here's Pat's report. There were some troubles.
Wait, which property is this?
Highland Ridge.
Oh, Highland Ridge.
There's too many Highlands around here. Problems. Many of the wattles on the backside of the basin have begun to disintegrate. Water held in the basin is discharged below the outlet pipe, apparently to the underlying stone below the pipe. This unintended flow must be eliminated. The proper flows like this. In addition, water being discharged into the pipe from the rear basin is highly turbid. Given the turbidity of the basin outflow, silt fault should be checked. Silt fence should be checked to ensure that it is properly towed in and functional. Contractor should take appropriate steps to minimize berm erosion, et cetera. This is a picture showing, I guess, some of the disintegrating wattles. There's some turbid water right up against the, and on the other side. Again, this is sort of like some undercutting of water here, and just a bunch of mud. And this is a half constructed berm. So, everything is so cumbersome. Fortunately, Andy Russo responded rather quickly that they're going to be out there Monday making the repairs. They said they had just been doing some work, add additional wattles, but the ones are still in touch, just beating headers, right? So anyway, so he was pretty responsive. I mean, he responded to Pat on Saturday, the same day that Pat sent out that report. And so we'll get an update from Pat about how things look. So that's good. Pat's doing a good job for us. Keep an eye on the place. And the Russos have been quite responsive. Now, I do have an update about the CR. Yes. So, and this is with Margaret's help. So Margaret had contacted Sharon from KP Law, so this would probably cost us $4,000. And so she got some email on October 19th from a lawyer representing the owner. It's conveyed to my client. He just got the baseline report back from his engineer. They'll be putting it all together. I don't know if they've issued a plan with engineer with the easements that need to be reserved. Blah, blah, blah. Please tell the conversation not to worry. Alex will work with you to get it completed. I privately emailed Margaret that it's them that should worry. We're not worried because I'm not going to approve anything until we get the CR approved.
Right.
And again, asked her to make sure that all permitting boards are aware of this. But I know no more BP building permits have come up since I red flagged those two that were requested. So they haven't had any other that come up. There actually is a building permit I haven't looked at today, but hopefully that isn't one of them. But
John, the engineer that's putting together some information for the basis of the CR called me, had some questions I couldn't answer him. So I called Krista, and she was going to call him. The guy said it would be all right. So I assume that Krista got a hold of him and explained to him what the wording that has to be in a CR and everything else. We have to satisfy what the state wants. We can't just put something together. So I think there was communication between Krista Collins and their engineer.
She's on. Can she comment on that?
Well, she might be smacking her kids around. I don't know, Krista, are you there? Because I told her not that we wouldn't get to any of the stuff she's interested in until about 8:30. Yeah, she's not unmuting herself. That's a little. I have two comments about that. First, I did have a conversation with an engineer of sorts at least 6 months ago about the baseline report. And he seemed to know what a baseline report was. I think that must have been someone that was working for Slade. It's a little alarming to me, based on what I've learned, that this guy wouldn't know what a baseline report is, but it was smart of you to send him SVT's way because they do that stuff all the time. Okay. So anyway, that is at least promising that they're working on it. Next, under wetlands, is the enforcement order at 100 River Road, and we have updates here as well. Let me get my act together.
Yeah, Carolyn was going to mention that, but
what? That John needs to get his act together?
Yeah. Trying to help you out there.
Thanks. Thanks, Steve.
So this is a notice from Denise Childs of DEP. If you want to just read it, or I can, or if unless you want me to read it to you.
wow. So
Yeah.
what's the date on this?
October 29th at noon.
Oh, so they'll go right after. Yeah.
So if anybody wants to join them, you know, I can send you the email chain, and you can coordinate the visit. Walter was prescient enough to, because there was concern about access, about making sure that
Tim.
Tim Wheeler would allow us to access his property, and he will. So Tim verified that with Denise. So if necessary, they can just go around the back and where you can see all things from Tim's property line. So this is a good development.
And we get to go on this.
If you want, yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't seen it, have you?
No.
Yeah. You know, if you want to be there, just email me and I will forward you the email chain.
Okay.
I feel bad for him that it's coming to this, but the lack
I
of
don't feel bad. I mean, he's been trying to blow us off and just sell it.
well, exactly. The lack of communication, the lack of willingness to work with us has brought it to this, but
I feel sad for one of the most beautiful historic farms in the area being just totally destroyed by people. And I have no problem at all enforcing what we've got to enforce on that mess. It's too bad.
It is too bad.
Shame.
And just like in a good Agatha Christie novel, there's a wrinkle.
Ooh, plot twist.
So this popped up. This guy, for some reason, Denise emailed him too, and he says he claims that 100 River Road was recently subdivided, and he represents the parcel not owned by WE Landscaping. And then so Denise asked me if I knew anything about this, which I didn't. So I emailed the assessors, you know, but this is now at 5 p.m. This is all like late breaking news. So I emailed the assessors, and they're obviously not going to get back to me right away to see if the 100 River Road actually was subdivided.
Doesn't a subdivision have to go through the planning board?
I would assume so.
Well,
I think it would be really surprising if this was subdivided and we didn't hear about it.
Correct.
So
yeah.
Unless this is a subdivision that occurred quite some time ago, and it's already on the map and has nothing to do with it. I don't
think Bertolini, whatever his name was, is been trying to subdivide that for quite a while, and I know he went before the planning board at least once and didn't get it. And but you know,
well, it hasn't been subdivided before May. I mean, since May, I can tell you that.
Okay. Well, anyway, I have an email in with the assessors, and they're usually very responsive. So we'll find out.
What's the date on that letter?
I just stopped sharing it. It was an email, and it was within the last day or two. So this is actually a cut and paste of an email to make it easy for me to show everybody. Okay. The email.
Because he said recently. I wondered.
Right.
Referring to what?
Unless it happened the week that I was away, but Tim knows that we're
how are you
having issues with this property, and I would imagine would have at least said something.
Okay. That was Tuesday at 8:50 a.m.
Yeah.
That's when he sent the email.
Just a quick question. We're in Conservation Commission right now. Did Bertolini ever get that?
Sounds like Walter's calling somebody.
Yeah.
Let's listen.
Side conversation. Let's listen in.
Right.
The plot thickens.
Carolyn, you want to share those snacks with us?
My M&Ms.
Yes, I like M&Ms.
Me too.
Peanut or not?
Come on over, bring some of that beer you have.
All right.
So I'm just looking on the mass, Oliver.
Just wondering because we're not getting any response on cleaning up the wetland issue there.
So 100 River Road still is showing as one
Thank you.
lot.
I don't know where you are, but Tim said that they divided Tyler Farm into 2 lots.
When?
What?
Must have been, I don't know, a month ago or something. It's been a while back.
Well, a month ago is not a while back.
Right.
I didn't ask him the exact time, unfortunately. It didn't occur to me. I just thought the issue was it divided or not? And it is.
Huh.
That's interesting.
Our planning board members not involved.
Well, it wasn't, so the only planning board meeting that I have missed, I actually watched on YouTube, and it didn't happen at that meeting. So, I don't know.
But it happened under your watch and you didn't see it?
Oh my God.
All right. So I'll email people with what the assessors say. In the meantime, if anybody can make that visit, that'd probably be cool. Just email me and I'll forward you the chain.
Just send it to me.
So Walter, that's that same day as the Marlborough Road one.
Yeah, correct.
It's just right after.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, it is. Okay. Ooh, that day's rough for me.
Yep.
Who wants me to forward it to them?
Just forward it to me. Just forward it to me. I can make it, I make it. I can't, I can't.
Anybody else?
Me, I already sent you an email.
Okay, you can forward it to me also.
I definitely
else?
no, I have to work.
Yeah, I'm working too. So, all right. So Steve, Liz, and Louise. I'll put Walter in there. He's already in the chain, but whatever.
Yeah. I'll try to make it.
Sorry, I kind of lost track when I was on the phone. What is the same day as the Lot B Marlboro, Carolyn?
The inspection of the Tyler Farm by DEP.
Right. And what time is it?
The
noon.
Tyler Road is noon, and Marlborough Road is
11.
10.
Yeah.
10,
10, I'm sorry.
30?
Yeah.
No,
I have 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I can't make the 10 o'clock, but I might be able to make the noon.
It's 10 o'clock. I apologize for saying 11 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. Okay. So next, under wetlands, Walter had some more observations about the end of West Street there as it enters Clinton. I believe it's 355 West Street. Walter?
It is.
Now, Louise, you know somebody across the street there?
Next door.
Have they noticed any other activity lately?
No, I didn't ask specifically, but no, they hadn't. I can ask specifically. Have you seen them moving stuff into?
It looked like tree work debris. I mean, it just recently it looks like a dump truck load. Well, not that much, but certainly a couple of pickup loads of 10-inch pine cut in foot-long lengths just thrown in there, and a bunch more brush and stuff. So it's definitely a violation of the wetlands.
Is this the one we just had the enforcement order on?
No, this is one we sent a letter to.
Oh.
Have you seen it, Louise?
I have not, no.
Oh, you know.
So Louise, you want to ask your neighbors, or how do you, your friends, I mean?
If
I mean,
I will. I
Okay.
will see you tomorrow, so.
Okay.
Probably should get a picture of it.
All right. So then moving on, I don't have any new business that we haven't dealt with by other means. Old business, I don't really have any updates on the wetland bylaw. Have people been able to talk to anybody? Carolyn, have you talked to Mike at all yet?
I tried to call him and his voicemail was full.
Oh, I
and
hate that.
He did not, yeah.
I talked to him and he had a problem with this business of including the intermittent streams in the, making 200 feet on each side of intermittent streams. He thought that would kill it, but hey, but other people I talked to, they'll do anything to protect the wetlands. They're all in favor of it. And I say all, I probably talked to a dozen people.
All right. Well, could you ask Mike to contact Carolyn so they can sort of sit down and bang heads about that?
Sure.
All right. Thank you, Walter. Walter, I haven't heard any update about the 40Ks ATV stuff. Have you?
Well, I went over to the place where they were entering in Clinton on Candace Street, and there was no sign of any ruts or anybody going in and out of there at all. And the sign that we put up is still there. I did not go, let me see, Candace Street, or was it? Anyway, it's, yeah, I went to one of the openings. I didn't go where the fellow had parked an old beat up camping trailer on our land. We might want to get a letter off to him to move it out of there. I can go check that.
It is good though. That's better than I expected. So that's good.
Yeah.
And then Walter, you checked out the Linden Street parking lot for beneath the
Lyman Street. Oh, Lyman Street.
Lyman Street. Shit.
Lyman Road. Yeah, that. Yeah. Yeah, somebody had thrown a bag of rubbish there, and then it looked like somebody had about 30 panes of glass and just smashed them. I picked up as much as I could. I didn't. I picked up 90% of it, but I just wasn't gonna go around in there. So that's picked up, and I removed the sign that said "Beware of vandalism at certain times."
Good.
Yeah,
thank you.
Oh, I just sent a picture of that sign. So that wasn't put up by the Berlin police?
No.
Oh, no.
That was there for, actually, Carol goes to work that way. She said it's been there for a long time.
Huh.
Hmm.
Liz, where did you send it?
I sent it to conservation.
Oh.
Beware, auto vandalism has occurred in the Mount Pisgah parking area, occurring weekdays 3 p.m. to 5 p.m.
But it's already gone, but I'll send it to everybody else now.
So Walter beat me to it.
Yeah, that's, I mean, you know, it, anyway.
Put it up.
So under land management, Steve, you want to give an update about your discussions with Sutharian?
Yes. Actually, I've been going through that, and I'm going to relay it to what we just saw at Linden Street. Both those parking lots have been very busy. I've been going by there occasionally, and the other day, I would have thought there's probably 7 cars in Therians and probably almost a dozen cars at Linden Street down at the bottom. So anyway, I did make a visit to Sue's. I think it was a Tuesday, anyhow, evening. She's just asking for a fence to be put up. She had an idea. I mentioned that to you, John, when we got together for the site visit we did for the. I'm thinking of the one for the electric line. So anyway, she's just looking for a fence to put up. I know you mentioned they were looking for a picket fence or something. She wants something a little bit more rugged, more like what's along the road there at the. Yeah, perfect. There's my pictures. Yeah, something like that. Something simple.
No, we're not gonna put that up,
Well,
please.
you're not gonna put up metal poles because tractors and stuff, they rust off the farm.
I talked to Rainville and, you know, put up a woven stock fence with the 5x6 openings in them, like you would put up for a bunch of sheep or cattle or whatever. And that's what you want it to look agriculture. This here looks like something up in the White Mountains, a tourist place. That's my.
Show me a picture because it's something you can kick in. They'll kick it in because actually, it was a Ford Mustang convertible went through her field, and the other day when I ran by, I didn't stop in. I ran by. They're parking well into the field. I actually saw it. I wish I had my camera with me. I would have taken a picture. There's so many
the
cars going in
tracks. Oh, excuse me. The tracks went on almost to the house.
there. Yes. Yeah, I did see the tracks a little bit. It was raining that day I went, but I did see some tracks, but I didn't go down there. But the cars that have been parking there are significant. There's quite a few cars.
Well, we definitely need to do some sort of
Right.
Visual indicator of where the edge of the parking area is. I mean, the picture that was just shown, that's not an inexpensive fence.
No, that's a 4x4 pole and put in.
Yeah, and it, you know, so I'm not entirely sure our budget would accommodate something like that.
Is it our budget that we have to do it? I thought
Right.
John and I talked about it.
Right.
Yes.
So go ahead.
Yeah, it's town property. The parking lot is town property. It's a parking lot. So, you know, what I would suggest is, we get a highway to figure out, they may have some materials, they may have some cut up posts already, and just put some low posts with some posts running across with spaces to walk through, and, a space for the mower. The mower has to run down, keep the grass down for the hikers. But, it's essentially a clear border for the parking lot, so that people are parking on the town property and not the Terrians.
Sure.
And highway may have materials already. So if you guys are okay, I'll work with Margaret to work with and Dave to see what we can come up with.
Sue even stated that, even if you got a lot of times you get broken telephone poles. Oh. So you could use that they give away. I know different people have gotten them, and you can put them in and then just put a bar across the top.
Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
Louise, you had something to say?
A little more attractive.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I took a walk by there, and there is a sign over on the right-hand side of the stone wall, but it's only about this big, and it was actually half covered with weeds and stuff. So if you're driving in there, you might not see the sign, because I barely saw it and I was walking by. So I did pull some of the weeds out and everything to make it look, but I think a bigger sign would help a great deal.
I don't think people are going to follow the sign.
Yeah, no, we need more than a sign. We need.
After the incident that she complained about of the car being in her field, the police were up there on a Friday afternoon with a van in her field flying drones. It should be in a police report.
Yeah, I don't understand why people think that's okay.
Yeah.
Right. So we need a parking delineation. So if you guys are okay with it, I'll work with Margaret and Dave to see what we can come up with.
That sounds good. Sorry, can you tell me how to find this area?
Yes.
To look at it.
Do you know
Go up Linden Street?
Go up Linden Street.
Yeah.
Keep going past Derby Road.
Yeah.
And it'll be on your left, just up past Derby Road on your left. You'll
Okay.
see before the sharp corner, just before the sharp corner. Now, Sue has met with Jake and has met with the town fire department. She's willing on her nickel to put in a separate gate with a fence with a key. So Jake will have a key because he mows the field, he haves the fields. And the town fire department wants access in case there's a fire in there. So they'll have a key to go into a separate gate, not this entrance, up the road. So she will take care of that part. We just need to keep the public off.
So we don't have to worry about the mower being able to get in there, is what
Yes.
you're saying?
No, we still need the mower because we asked the town to go down along that rock.
I'm
wall.
sorry, the mower,
the
not the
hayer.
tractor, not the hayer.
Not the hayer, not the tractor, not fire department, not anything. She will take care of that and put a gate up.
Okay.
Put
Now
a
she-
gate up where?
What's that?
At the edge of the field.
A gate up where?
It gets us up the
Uphill.
field further. It's not in our area. So I didn't pursue it. Not
Right.
my concern.
Well, there is an opening in the stone wall up
Yes.
above,
Yes, I assume that's where it's going to go. I don't know.
right?
Oh,
And
I see what you mean. I understand now. Yep.
Yeah. So she'll take care of all that, and she'll do the nickel because she does not want wire fence or anything. I guess wire or metal doesn't work with horses. I'm not a horse person. I don't know. Probably Holly could comment more on that. She wants wood. And I know Jake does not want metal poles. I know the farm across the street from me, they will not put a metal pole in because they rust out in time. And then the tractor tires, it kills them.
Okay. Steve, thank you.
Mhm.
All right. Next under land management, boardwalk at entrance of the Mount Laurel Trail off of Lancaster Road. As I think I may have mentioned before, there's a failed culvert down there. And basically there's water that runs over the culvert 3 months a year. And I went down there with Dan Stimson a few months back, and we basically came up with a plan to put a boardwalk in over the culvert. And a couple of years ago now, we have this standing NOI for just sort of trail repair. And I was just reading through, and this kind of covers it because it's just a boardwalk over an existing trail area. It'll be elevated to let water go through. So, and it's just to help, so it allows hikers to, cross towards into the road without getting their feet wet 3 months a year.
Well, or also putting things down in order to cross it. A lot of times people will try and fill it in with branches, or they'll make rogue paths to avoid it. So
yes,
it also protects that.
Prevents all that stuff too.
Yeah.
Yep. So I will purchase materials myself.
No Boy Scouts looking for a project?
Pardon me?
No Boy Scouts looking for a project?
No, I haven't been hit up lately by any. I haven't been able to recruit any Eagle Scout candidates. I've done 2 so far, but there's not a third one. But there are people at SVT that will help me. So, Dan said he could probably rustle up a couple of volunteers. Today, I was just looking over the one that Nolan and I built, last year, down in this Brewer Brook area. Just just refreshing my mind about what the design was. So, it's basically just 2x8 by 8 runners. The 8-foot long treated lumber I can fit in my Subaru. So, and then the planks that run across the top, they're 2 feet each. So it's a 2-foot wide boardwalk. And, the sills are like 6x6. That's, they're a little bit more expensive, but and then there's some
see
angle
if
braces.
Dave Smith has some materials, especially the larger pieces, the larger dimensional stuff. He can probably, he might be able to help us out, at least get us a bargain.
That's an excellent idea.
And John, if you need somebody to haul some heavy stuff, like my old Blazer might be able to go in anywhere.
Oh, this is literally 30 feet from the road.
Oh, okay.
So 2 Eagle Scouts ago, he came up with the idea of how to carry these. You carry them like a stretcher, then you put on the last boards at the very end. It's pretty clever actually, but we only have to carry them about 30, 50 feet. It's just right there. It's right at the edge of the road. You just park at the side of the road there and just bring it. Okay, so I'll proceed with that. Next, community outreach fall Earth Day cleanup. You guys, so we're all set for Saturday.
I'm concerned there's
Saturday.
no ice cream.
I know. We tried.
I'll buy you a cone, Steve.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
He'll just drop it.
I'll get him a little Dixie cup
There you go.
and a bib. Put him in a chair.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as I get my ice cream, chocolate.
So anyway, Louise, the table and chairs, did you get any progress there?
Yes, Margaret is going to put a table and some chairs in the lobby. I looked at the weather for Saturday and it looks like it's going to be fairly warm, so we could probably set up outside.
Yeah.
Where we would be more visible. So she's going to put the table and chairs there Friday night. So we could just move them outside.
Yeah, looks like a perfect day for ice cream.
Pardon?
Looks like a perfect day for ice cream.
Yes. There was a sign that said Earth Day. I think it's in a box up in the back closet.
I can check. I mean, I will, I'll meet you there Saturday morning.
Okay, I'll be there at 8 o'clock.
I'll get the yellow bags that are up in the closet. I'll see if there's a sign that says Earth Day. I don't recall seeing it before, but that doesn't mean it's not there because there's a lot of stuff in that back.
I think it was purple. I don't know. Maybe it was fairly old, so it might have gotten thrown out. I tried contacting the Hollyoaks to see, because they had some signs and I haven't heard from them. So, right.
Carolyn's working again. Try to get out of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Robin and I are going to do it the next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All
I'll
right.
get you some bags.
Any volunteer? So Liz, get all the people in there. Get some volunteers. Rustle up some volunteers in your eco village.
Yeah, I have
send
to
it again.
know that all somebody has done. Actually, Bob Blair has done Sawyer Hill Road, Summer Road, Jones Road, Pleasant Street already. And
Bob, okay, good for Bob.
Yeah, he goes walking all the time and he brings a bucket with him and picks up stuff. And so, the Shute family has done part of Route 62. They started at Berlin Orchards and they went all the way to Taylor Road.
Oh, wow.
On both sides.
Taylor Road? Where's Taylor Road?
Taylor Road goes to Gates Pond.
Taylor Road.
Yeah.
Right.
Taylor Road next to the gas station.
Oh, wow. That's a heavy traffic area.
Yeah.
I know. Well, it was a couple and their, I think a teenage son and a 22-year-old son.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's the eco village people.
Right. And Holly and Peter Hoffman will be doing Randall Road, their section of Randall Road already. And another family said that they will be doing Lancaster Road, the whole length of it.
Oh, wow.
So you said you mentioned to me in an email, you drive a truck, but
pardon?
Did you want me to drive a truck?
Yes, if you could.
Okay, I can. I'll be around, so no problem.
Okay, yeah. Phil said
Orange Hill's pretty in good shape. We let the wind blow all the trash down the road.
Excellent.
Yeah, so
right
it's all
in
on
North
62.
Brook.
So yeah, it's all down 62. Yeah.
Right in Northbrook.
You want to check with him and see if he's going to drop it off?
Whatever. I'll see you down at the town hall. I'll be around. I got my blazer too, so whatever we need to do.
Okay.
All right, great. And thank you again, Louise, for organizing all this.
Okay.
And thank you too, Liz.
The had it pretty well organized, so.
Well, Louise, do check on that ice cream.
I will.
I'm only kidding.
Yeah.
Someone make sure
I'm not sure you're kidding.
I'm going to show up with a fudgesicle if I need to.
All right, kids, listen up. I'm done with the agenda.
We still have Krista.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, I want to move into executive session. I reread Chapter 38, Section 21 of the Massachusetts General Laws, and we're okay with doing this because of the other urgent nature of the business. So, we first have to discuss and vote on the fact that we will have an executive session and that we will not be returning to the general session, to the open meeting. So I would entertain a motion that we hold an executive session following this meeting and that we will not return to the open meeting.
So moved.
Wait a minute. We need to state that we are going into executive session to discuss
Right,
land.
you need to state the reason.
Land management, land acquisition.
Okay. So Liz, you moved?
Carolyn did. I'll second.
I did, Louise.
You did?
I did, yep.
I did fourth.
All right, wait a minute. Let me get that down.
Okay, third and fourth I'll take care of.
Okay.
Trying to
It's
help.
you, Brad.
Okay, and not return to regular meeting, right?
That is correct.
And Liz seconded. Okay.
I third it and fourth.
Right, so we don't actually need to go anywhere. We just stop the recording, correct?
Right.
No. We have
No.
Well, we have to
No.
vote first.
No, no, we'll have to close this out because the link is publicized.
Yep.
So
Okay,
this meeting will have to get closed out, and then I'll immediately send out a link to a new meeting that's secure and requires a password.
Oh, password.
and the password will be embedded in the link.
Yes, and I've highlighted it.
Awesome.
Okay. And I'll Krista, hopefully she's been released by her children. I will, Krista, if you're listening, I'll send you the link as well.
Is there ice cream at this meeting?
So we
Yeah.
There is no ice cream. There is no ice cream attached to the link.
Oh.
All right. So now we need to do a roll call vote on that motion that's on the table. Louise,
Aye.
John, I, Liz,
Aye.
Robin,
Aye.
Carolyn,
Aye.
Steve,
E.
and Walter.
Aye.
Great. Okay. And now I'll entertain a motion to close this open of the
So moved.
Adjourn.
So moved. Second and third.
adjourned.
Second.
All right, Steve moved?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I'm still living at 68 Barnesville Road. I haven't moved.
Yeah. You close.
At
And who seconded?
8:42.
I did.
So,
He's really getting a second.
and no further discussion. So Louise,
Aye.
John, I, Liz,
Aye.
Robin,
Aye.
Carolyn,
Aye.
Steve,
Me.
Walter.
Aye.